In this video, guys, we're going to talk about harness the power of trading intuition. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. All right, so I've done a video on this before and it's an interesting topic because, you know, it's a topic I can't stand here and say, well, you know what, this is a really good strategy and this is the kind of a good ways to put your stop loss and some ideas, and you go away and you go, you know what, I didn't like number 1 or 2, but I quite like number 3 and 4. Let me add it to my trading, let me see if it works. Oh, it works, great, thanks Mark, good on that video, worked really well. It's not really that type of video, so, you know, maybe won't get so much love for this one, but hey, I think it's such an important part of the learning journey, and I like to include everything, guys, even the non-sexy stuff. So, you know, intuition is, you know, I don't know what's the average definition for intuition, but you know what intuition is. Intuition is like a feel you get and a vibe and an understanding of what's going to happen next. You know, analogy is you're driving along, you're in a car, and you just think, you know what, I think that guy's going to cut me off. I think he's going to come into my lane. I just got a feel about it. You back off. Sure enough, over he goes. There's nothing you can say. Maybe it's the type of car, maybe it's the fact that he didn't indicate at the last junction, maybe it's his speed, maybe it's his road positioning, maybe it's his dithering. It could be all these things, but there's something that, and that comes from experience in driving. If you're a brand new driver, you don't get that. And actually, there was a lot of things where, I think it was the Google autonomous vehicle, a lot of people were crashing into it because of this scenario where, you know, they'd just move and it would kind of be an unusual behavior and it wouldn't respond to, you know, the intuition, had no intuition part of it because very kind of a beta mode or very early model, should I say, is the best way of putting it. So anyway, the point is, guys, is that, you know intuition is, you know what it is. It's kind of in every walk of life. So in trading, why don't we develop it as well? Why don't we try to, you know, harness that intuition and build that intuition and learn from great people in all walks of life of how they harness and build their intuition? So the first thing is just to give yourself as a trader room for it to flourish. You know, this is the trouble with being so restricted with the rules, and many of you have commented on this before. I've said, hey, bring the boundaries in on your trading and go, right, these are my risk boundaries, these are my filters, and why I use filters and triggers. Here's a filter to allow it to come in. You've got a trigger to guide you, but then, you know, people can adapt to that and say, hey, you know, I might want to take it, but you've got boundaries to allow yourself to operate in, but then within those boundaries, you've got a bit of flexibility, you've got some intuition, you've got some ability to become a great human trader. What we're not trying to do is become inefficient algos, which many people try to become. They're like, okay, I want an if-then statements that are perfectly executed each time. Well, then build an algo. If that's what you're trying to create, just build an algo. That's what algos are great at. They never deviate from the rules. You give them the rules, they'll trade it all day long, every day. You know, there's no point in trying to make yourself into an algo. So what do we possess that algorithms don't? Intuition. You know, the ability to see whatever we see in the market and go, yeah, I like that, I really like that, I trade it. And it might not be quite right and there, but it's within the boundaries, so you're allowed to take it within the rules and taking it. Now, so this is allowing flexibility for it, or room for it to flourish within your trading plan. Too many people are so stifling with the rules. This is a big one. The danger that people fall into, and especially if you're a new trader, and this is where, you know, experience comes in. I can't lie that, you know, having the experience, just like in this car analogy, helps you develop it better. But recognize chimp versus intuition. The chimp is like, this is going up. And that's coming from a place of, I've missed out on this. I don't want to miss out on this. I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. I want revenge. That's the chimp talking. We talk about chimp for the chimp paradox, you know, versus intuition, which is, you know what, this feels right. You know, this has got the right attributes of a market that's going to break higher. It's got the right feel about it. I'm going to take it. There's two distinct separate voices there, if you like, and it's separating the two out and understanding how to recognize one versus the other and getting better at that. Number 3, take good notes on when it served you versus when it did not. This is how you harness it more and learn from it. So you take notes and you go, hey, you know what? Under these conditions, I'm pretty good at spotting if that's a fake out. I'm pretty good at saying, nah, I'm not playing that game of breakouts. I'm going to fade you, or I'm not going to take this trigger long because something's, you know, then you start to know, hey, under these conditions, my intuition seems to work its best. So what do? You start to then operate under those conditions exclusively. You start to go, well, I'm very good in those conditions, so why don't I leverage on that intuition and operate in those conditions, or start to harness it and adjust and build the intuition in other conditions. I think you get the idea. The other one is learn from your mistakes, don't beat yourself up. If you're constantly beating yourself up for being wrong on each trade, rather than a whole number of trades, your intuition, subconscious, whatever you want to talk, whatever you want to call it, however you want to label it, is not going to want to give you any voice. It's not going to want to, because you are just berating it every time it's wrong. You need to learn and understand and improve, but not beat yourself up and go, oh, you're such an idiot for taking that trade. Why did you take that trade? I wasn't part of this, blah, 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 blah. Because all your intuition is going to do is going to cower away and go, I dare not speak up and think this is a great trade or not, because if I get it wrong, there's quite a penalty to it. And I'm kind of exaggerating a bit here, but I think you get the point with that as well. The final thing is relax to let it work best. Easier said than done. You're in a trading environment, high pressure, day trading environment, lots going on, lots moving around, money at stake. But I don't think, and I've read kind of some books on this and listened to some podcasts and stuff, you can't harness this and have it improve your trading and be an asset to your trading if you're not relaxed and you're kind of tense and you're really strung, highly strung, because it then goes into the kind of fight or flight mode and the chimp mode and the kind of emotional response mode. You have to be relaxed, you have to let it do its thing, and accept that as a newer trader, it's going to take time for it to develop. You're not going to be able to just sit at a screen and go, hey, this is kind of how it is, and I've got a gut feel. That may be it, but that gut's going to be based on completely zero experience. Your intuition is the sum of your experiences helping you guide your decisions later on down the line in your trading. That's why it's good to be a specialist in a particular market, watch a handful of stocks, watch a specific time of day, something where you start to see things over and over and over and over again, start to see the subtle nuances, start to take those little subtle nuances and subconscious cues on board, and then use that as leverage and use that kind of data that you've gathered in your brain later on for your advantage, and have that as a little bit of a superpower in your trading. Anyway, guys, that is harness the power of trading intuition. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below in that one, please, because I don't pretend to be knowledgeable about this in any arena, but I just know that when I'm spending more time just letting my intuition make some decisions for me within those boundaries, I perform much better than if I'm really struggling and I'm handcuffing myself, and I know other traders are like that too. So anyway, take care, guys. See you next one. Bye-bye.